Warning! Making this fun fold card is going to be addictive. It's one of those cards you're just going to want to make over and over again. Good luck getting out of your craft room. Are you ready to create some crafts? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. This color is called Timid Tiger. Now this is important. We are going to cut it a little different. I want the short side to the top of your trimmer. Then what we're going to do next is we're going to come and measure it at 5.5. You thought I was going to say something different, didn't you? But the most important thing you're going to do is cut long ways at 5.5. We're going to use this piece too, so hold on to it. So we've got this piece at 5.5, but it's still a little too long. So now I'm going to turn it, put it back in, and it's at what, 11 inches. So we're going to cut this down to 9.5. So your actual measurements for this piece, which is your card base, is 5.5 by 9.5. Next, we've got a little left over, which I promised you we're going to use again. This is 3 inches this way, and we've got to cut this down a little bit as well. We got to cut it down to 10 5/8. And these are the two most important pieces right here. Everything else is decorating. The next thing I've got for you, this piece of paper is cardstock, yes, but look at this. It's dark on one side, light on the other. It's a two-tone. So this is Timid Tiger, two-tone. I just like saying that. Two-tone Tony, two-tone Timid Tiger. Isn't that cute? That's the name of this cardstock. That's the name of this color. And that's how we're going to use it. We're going to use both sides of this. So this particular piece, you're going to cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. The next piece we're going to cut, we've got some panels. So you're going to cut 4 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 4 of these panels are going to be at 2 by 5 3/8. And yes, these are still the light and dark two-tone, but these are what I'm calling the panels, and you'll need 4. The next thing you're going to need 4 again, but you're going to need 4, let's call them squares. They're not quite a perfect square. Yes, it's the same two-tone, but your little 4 squares are going to be 2 inches by 2 7/8. But that's not all. We've got a lonely little basic white square, same measurements, 2 by 2 7/8. All right. And then I've got 1 extra white. This is your basic white. This is going to cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And all this is before we even get to our pattern paper. But I did want to offer you my free ruler. This is my ruler. This stays on my desk for all those wonky little measurements like the 1/8 and 1/16. This just simplifies your life. And if you want one, it's my gift to you. You let me know below in the comments that this is something you want. All right, next we're going to cut our pattern paper. So I've got one we're going to cut at 4 inches by 4 1/4. The next thing we're going to cut are 4 panels of our pattern paper. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And you're going to need 4 of them. Now you're going to say, well, you don't have 4 of them. That's because I've got a surprise for you and a free technique. So just cut these. I've got one more measurement, and then we're going to get on to the fun stuff. And last but not least, your designer series paper, you're going to cut squares, 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. And yes, you need 4 of them. So now you see some of the secret that's coming up for you, and that is we're going to do a little embossing. So I've got my little mini embosser. The embossing folder we're going to use is Glass and Gardens embossing folders. It's a twofer. You get 2 for 1, 2 in 1 package. So that's how I'm going to make my own designer series paper. Is I'm going to line her up and run it on through. And there you have it. And we need 2 of these. And we're going to count this as our pattern paper. So these we're going to count as your panels, okay? Now let's get on to do some fun stuff. You're going to need some sandpaper. I have this little sandpaper brick. It's just easier. So what I'm going to do is come in, and you see we embossed. So I'm going to take my sandpaper to it and check it out. It is turning into something gorgeous. Do you love it? We're just sandpapering away the top little bitty bit of the color to expose the white on the inside. We're ready to get on with scoring. Take your card base, push your blade out of the way, and get your scoring blade ready. We're gonna score this at 1/2 inch, and then again at 2 5/8. Score it. Now what I want you to do is completely flip it to the other side and repeat. All right, so now we've got some scoring. So we're gonna fold. This is actually gonna get folded back, fold in, and fold back. So it's gonna close like this. And yes, we're gonna use these. This is gonna be our smaller card. This is gonna be what I'm calling the accordion fold. And yes, we need some scoring. So let's score this at 2 1/8. Score, and then come on again to 4 1/4. All right, so this is gonna fold, and you're gonna have a center, and then fold back. So it's gonna look fold in on itself like this and open up like that, and we're gonna attach it to that. You're gonna love this. Love this. Before we get on to the next step, I want you to remember me, Dawn Davis, when shopping for craft supplies. Here's the color pattern paper that I used. Here is some base, the Timid Tiger, and I'm sharing this with you because it's on sale, and I love a good sale. And I want you to enjoy and take advantage as well. Simply Said stamp set, the Memento Black, and oh yeah, last but not least is the embossing folder, Glass and Garden. So I'll put all the little details down below for you so you can take advantage of the shopping and the sale. I love a good sale. Who doesn't? Tell me below if you love a good sale. All right, so I'm gonna get my base. Let's start with our base first. So we're gonna come in here. All right, that is gonna go in the center. This, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I'm gonna keep it a secret for right now. So let's get some adhesive. And first what we're gonna do is adhere this designer series, but you can see it's two-sided. You could choose your side. Would you like a sneak peek as we're coming along? So I'm gonna show you that right now. Your card will close like this, and then what? Open up beautiful like that. Isn't that the coolest? So you can see why you're going to be addicted to this and why I warned you, you're gonna not be able to stop making this. And then here's the other one. This is another monochromatic, and this one I think is Secret C. So just a little more elegance. And if you want, you can either write your love note in the center, or that's the secret for our extra white layer. Just stick it on the back of your card and you can write and extend a lovely, lovely note towards the back. So I think I'll do that last. The two-tone, I went with the light because then I embossed on the dark side. So we're gonna put this in the front to make it fancy. So let me get my glue. I'm gonna start and put the glue on this piece. Again, you put your glue towards the center and drag the glue lightly towards the edges, because if you watch my videos before, you know I always talk about the blob, the dreaded blob, what? So we want to avoid the blob sliding off our paper. We want it to behave. It's coming along, don't you think? So let's decorate the accordion part. We'll get to that. So here's our little accordion fold. This one is gonna go in the center. So let's go ahead and just add a little baby sentiment to that. You could add a little embellishment. You could fussy cut a flower and put it inside. Whatever you want in the whole wide world. I think I'm gonna do that. I need a thank you note for a sweet friend. So I am gonna do mine a thank you note. But my husband loved this card, but I told him I already gave him his anniversary card. We had our anniversary Saturday, 45 years. How long have you been married? If you are married, tell me below how long you have been married so we can celebrate you too. All right, come in with your squares, and you're gonna put the light side facing up, because look, it's the two-tone like we were talking about. I like to eyeball everything where it's gonna go before I do my some assembly required. How about you? All right, it's coming right along. So let's now come along and adhere these flat onto the card. I think it would make it easier for you if you adhere your white down in the center first, and then it'll make it easier to line these up. These will be slightly bigger because we used a layer underneath, a little panel. if you will, just for some extra prettiness. Ta-da! You can see how stinking cute it's gonna be, right? All right, so let's go ahead before I forget and just adhere the white to the back. You can skip this. This is totally, totally optional, this one little step. It depends how good a note writer you are. I am not that good. Oh, tell me below if you're great at writing sentiments and cards. I'm like, no, I make cards. I'm not that great at sentiments. All right, you're probably wondering where these go, aren't you? They go back here, just like that. What do you think? Shaping up, right? Oh my gosh, are you in love? Are you addicted? All right, before we start our next step, do you want the measurements for next week's video? Join my email list. Those crafters get the measurements in advance so they can craft along with me. They always have it. Okay, let me know below. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna eyeball it. This is why you need grid paper. Let me line up the top of my card with the line of the grid paper. Now I'm gonna center this and you're just gonna draw some little tick marks on the sides, this half inch on the outside. So just on the outside edge of your little scoring, you're gonna cut it off. Sometimes I'm gonna cut it a little more, you guys. I don't wanna take a chance, but you can come back. If you go to glue that down, the accordion part of the card, and this feels too wide, just give it a little haircut. Tell me below if you're addicted to this card, if you're gonna make one. I have to know if you love it as much as I do. All right, you can see your tabs. I want this really to be nice and strong, so I'm gonna come in with some tear and tape and put it on the back. One more piece of tear and tape, just because we can and to keep it nice and strong. All right, next we're gonna do some more tear and tape and we're gonna put it right on our tabs, both sides, okay? Both sides. Now tear and tape is strong enough, it's gonna hold your goodies and your crafties in place, but it's weak enough where you literally can tear it with your fingers. And I just love the convenience in that. See how that was done? Simple. Make sure it's in place. It's a two-sided adhesive. And then you're gonna come in with your Take-A-Pick and just peel that little heifer back. Ta-da! If you haven't done so already, would you go like this, boop, and hit the thumbs up? I'd appreciate it. Subscribe. If you don't subscribe already, I want you to be able to find me again. And if you feel like you need to share this to your page, you feel free to do so. All right, I feel like my tab needs a little haircut. So I'm gonna come in on this side a little bit and give it a little haircut. All right, so I'm just gonna lay it down flat. Let me check this side, looking good in the neighborhood. Flip it over. I'm just gonna burnish it a teeny tiny bit. Oh my goodness, are you loving it? I thought I'd do one final step. I did do some die cutting and some flowers. Between you and me, it would look better popped up with some dimensionals, but I'm gonna adhere it flat because look, this is pretty dang bulky. Can you see that? It will fit into an A2 envelope, but this is a bulky little baby. It just is. Timid Tiger, Secret Sea, and then this one is the Darling Duck, but I used some different paper. And this is the one I wanted you to see. It's very different, don't you think, than going with the something a little more neutral, but different in a good way. And I did want you to have this technique. I thought, oh my, what a treat to have something for you like that. And then this is just a show and tell, but this is that technique on a different card, a simpler card. But I wanted you to see the versatility in that particular technique. Tell me below if you like this technique, if you're gonna try the technique, and hey, are you addicted to the technique as much as you are addicted to the card? Did I warn you or what? Want more simple cards that you can copy? Click this link at the top of the screen for your next video and I'll see you there.